Part of, for me, a man getting his heart back, the purpose is never just for us, is it? The purpose is always much greater. Get you a mic too, Kelly, yeah. The purpose is greater than that. When a man gets his heart back, it affects a man's marriage, affects a man's children, it affects a man's church. I'm so convinced that this is pivotal. If we want to see our churches come alive, if we want to see our families come alive, we need to see men get their hearts back. It's interesting, Luke, I think last Sunday or the Sunday before I did this, a radio call at a Houston, Texas station, and the lady's opening monologue was all about toxic masculinity, and then she says, "Now welcome Randy Hemphill in." I'm like, where do I go from there? I mean, geez, thanks. Tee that one up. But we're in a time, we all see it, it's in the news, where this whole toxic masculinity thing, which is unfortunate. And I've had the privilege of getting to know Luke and Kelly this last year. And I want you to hear a little bit of their story, because tonight it's not just about a man getting his heart back, it's about seeing marriages restored, which has always been the heartbeat of Life Ministries. But Luke and Kelly, this is one of those where I wish I had like an hour to talk. We're going to make this real short. This is hard. But when our paths crossed last July, things were at a difficult spot. You guys didn't know if your marriage was going to make it. A lot of difficult things that you were walking through. And it wasn't just one person's issues. I mean, we all realize we have broken and stuff, but Kelly, there were some things in your life and some unfaithfulness and things that you were walking through at that point, which, let me say, I'm really proud that you're willing to be honest about that. We need more honesty like that. But I'll never forget our first meeting where things felt impossible. Can you guys, I know it's hard to put words to that, but when you remember where marriage was at last summer, just 7-8 months ago, describe a little bit of that feeling of hopelessness, of this can't be restored. Take us there for a second. What was that like?
So we only have an hour, right, to talk?
I know.
Yeah, it's hard to condense. It was, I call it the apocalypse. It was just the most challenging moments and crisis that I've ever been in. And like, there's all these knee-jerk reactions where, as a guy, I'd been used to, whether it's academically or in work, like, you get promoted and all this stuff when you can control the situation and you can force the result to be what it needs to be. And so that's the knee-jerk reaction, is fences, walls, and control and force. And over a period of weeks or a couple of months, like, it just didn't work. It is that kind of force and control is just a non-starter in relationships. And there were so many turbulent shifts, I guess, that, it came down to thinking, if what I think, or I say anyway, that Christ did when he walked down the road with a cross on, being beat up, and if he was really the master of the universe and had the power of the universe at his fingertips, and yet he didn't choose force and control because he had his end destination in mind. So he understood the goal that he was working toward. And so because of that, he said, he was willing to say, humility and sincere love is going to be the thing that accomplishes the end result that we're going for. And with Kelly and I, the end result, I knew in 12 months and 24 months from now, I wanted our marriage to be a marriage and still be intact.
And it was wild because I think, Luke, for you, just like most of us as guys, there's that part of us that wants, we're fixers. And when something goes south in marriage, we want to make it right. We want to, all right, here's the 3 things I need to do, or here's how we're going to. And we chose a process that was one of breaking down things in both your hearts, doing a lot of story work, and slowly beginning to do some restoration. But it was having to fight against a lot of those tendencies that we as guys have. And Kelly, for you, I mean, at that stage where it felt like there was little hope, as a woman wondering, will my heart ever move back toward my husband?
For me, there wasn't just little hope. There was no hope at all. We were just actually recalling today that a neighbor at one point had said something about what a picture-perfect couple we were. We have 4 children, and this time last year, we were just this very paint-jobbed, perfect-looking couple with 4 kids, very into the school, PTO mom, got it all put together. But under the hood, there was nothing. And 6 months later, over 6 months, I had an affair. And in July, I didn't know. Luke knew what he wanted in 12 months, and I didn't. I had no idea. I didn't know that I could love him again or that I would love at all again. Didn't know what I wanted our family to look like, how our children were ever going to perceive me as they grew up. Didn't know really if I wanted a relationship with God at that point. A lot of despair, a lot of prayers for God to do me in because I didn't have the courage to do it myself. And I only laugh about it now because 6 months after July, we are so far removed. Luke has so much, all of my heart, and I never saw it coming. A lot of prayers, angry with God, angry at Randy a lot of times after the counseling sessions.
I get that a lot.
A dartboard with Randy's face on it, and here we are, and we may look like we're limping in here like grease lightning after the drag race, but I mean, we've never been so steady and so fast now. It's remarkable to have gone from January to July last year, July to January this year.
And I think to know we're here in what Leeds, Alabama area, which is where you guys call home. And to know, it was wild when we started talking about tonight. I mean, Luke and Kelly both were kind of like, but we're still being restored and we still have work to do. Don't we need to kind of have our junk together? And I said, no, because none of us do. We are restored and being restored. Last I checked, we're always going to be in the garage of grace. And I love that you guys' story is one where just 7-8 months ago, everything seemed lost. Divorce was impending. I mean, there was just a sense of restoration isn't possible. And through the power of God, fathering both of you, doing a lot of work on both your stories, you guys are here tonight. And there's more work to do, but I praise God for what He has been doing in you guys' lives. As a restored man, a restored woman, maybe that needs to be the sequel. Is that the next book? I always jokingly said the book for women will be multi-volume. Maybe I better run out of here now. But praise God. Hey, tonight is not about a book. I know you like, but we got the books. Isn't this a book launch party? Yes, but here's the purpose of tonight, to talk about the one who restores broken people. This is a book written by a broken, shady author dude who's experienced the grace of God, bringing a couple up here who's been broken, experiencing the grace of God. And why wouldn't we want to get that word out? And I want to honor both of you tonight for your courage. And we do need about 2 hours to really tell the story. But I at least want it in short form for you to hear from them. and to honor what God has been up to in your life. I just love both of you. I wish we could talk 20 more minutes, but I love both of you.
Thank you, Randy. And thank you. This man has walked with us. And even when we were feeling like we were getting past certain things, he like drug us back down in the ditch to make sure. He's like, y'all
Don't
are moving.
tell him that.
Y'all are moving too fast. Whoa, whoa. We want to
Don't
move
tell him
faster.
that.
We want to move faster.
Would y'all honor God and honor them with some applause?